If martial law is enacted, here's 3 things you need to do to keep yourself and your supplies safe. Number 3 is keep food, weapons, and other supplies hidden. Even if your preps are kept at home, they should be hidden well enough to be undetected by the first and even the second sweep of your home that the military will conduct. Every home varies in its construction, so there are no hard and fast rules, but think carefully and act accordingly. Consider caches or underground or around your property, preferably in areas where disturbed ground is not going to be suspicious. Number 2 is play it cool. When the military does drop by, and they will, just hide your contempt. This may go against the grain, but the survival of you and your family is your number 1 priority. Ask a few questions, but not too many. You need to be the gray man, totally unmemorable. Nothing you say or do, nothing about the way you look should make you memorable. Keep a cheap weapon and a few rounds to hand over when you're asked to hand over your weapons. Number 1 is trust no one. Never take the government's word at face value, except for when they tell you that they're gonna unalive you. The government and its components of career politicians, bureaucratic vermin, and SS ninja wannabes lie. They have been for a lot longer than you'd think. 3 terrifying FEMA camp facts you might want to know. All of FEMA's authority comes from executive orders and not from any legislation. Here's a list of those executive orders for your reference. Confiscation of our pew-pews. It's a well-established fact that FEMA doesn't allow pew-pews into their refugee camps. We first saw this during Hurricane Katrina and then Harvey. There were people entering into the centers that FEMA set up were stripped of their pew-pews upon entry. It didn't matter to the people that were running those camps that those in the camp should defend themselves or even that they actually were being attacked by others. Number 2 is grapes and other brutality in FEMA camps. Going back to the refugee center set up during Hurricane Harvey, we can see what the result of taking people's pew-pews away did. When the people were unable to defend themselves, they were easy pickings for the violent characters in society. One of the reasons that pew-pews are so important for self-defense is that evil people are much more likely to use violence and even ugly, brutal violence in order to get their way when you don't have them. Families can be separated in FEMA camps. Families are very likely to be separated in these camps. The government, as well as other organizations like teachers' unions, have already stated that the children belong to the government, not to their parents. Now, this allows FEMA the opportunity to use children as hostages for the good behavior of their parents. This means the possibility of overthreat could be used to keep you in line.